Good evening, this is Nick Amnon from VolumeProfileTrader.com on Thursday, January 19th, and this video's, although it's going to cover a few names, it's going to be a little different than normal, just because I want to cover what's going on and really what we're looking at on the S&P short term and, potential for what could come in the next week or so. So looking at today, we had another great day, another new high, and that's great. It was really good to see the market make another new high, and as we continue to see that, there's the growing potential for a pullback, and we get closer and closer to the level that we're looking for a pullback, which is really 1325. But even really these current highs, it's potential that we could see some type of resistance, which is probably why today was the volume wasn't huge, but there was a lot of big contracts being sold and bought, and I thought that was interesting, and I thought it was also interesting because it happened at the very top end of the range today. So what I want to do is zoom into see the daily profiles of volume profile to get an idea of what's been going on, and I'm gonna go really since we bottomed last Friday and kind of go through the days on what's gone on. So starting on Friday into the overnight, we sold off into the early morning, and we made a low right at the, which is probably right at the, this is generally speaking the point of control for the last, this is on a 10-day chart, but I think we can go even out to a 30-day chart, and it's the same thing, 1272. You see that's major support. So we bounced off of those levels and since have made our run to new highs. So you can see the following day on Monday during the overnight, Monday the market was closed, but futures were open till, let's see, 11:30, which was when Europe closes. So you can see we held the point of control overnight, moved higher. Point of control for that day shifted up towards 1286, 1287. We rallied higher. During the day session, we had a point of control form higher, but what we really saw was a test of Monday's point of control, and that held all of Wednesday, which led us to basically move higher. We had a point of control form at the same level Wednesday as it did on Tuesday, and we've seen higher prices going into today. This early morning, we had a little bit of consolidation. Didn't even get down to the point of control level for the past 2 days. Continued higher, and which brings us to Thursday. Today, we opened this morning, and slowly, relative small range, slowly drifted higher. But what I'm really looking at, and I'm gonna, zoom in a little more. What I'm really looking at is this market, this point of control that forms at the top end of the range that normally signifies some type of top, and leading that there's probably some more downside. So when I sent out the email today saying that there's potential for more downside, I'm really looking for just some type of pullback, whether it be 1% or maybe 2%, and see if this market can correct some and see if buyers once again come in and buy the dips. So being at the highs today, 1311, point of control at the top end of the range, and I'm going to once again zoom out and show you. We have, now remember there's been a lot of trading activity since then, but we have a lot of volume printed from basically 1303, and then it really starts getting heavy around 1311, which were the highs of the day. So there was a lot of trading action at the highs of the day today, and the point of control formed at that end. Keep in mind, even for the last, let's see, you can see for the last 5 days of trading, the point of control nearly forms in one session, nearly forms at the top end of this range. Really, is since 11:30 this morning, we formed a huge point of control, and that's why I was saying the volume was so heavy here. So you can see some type of failure from here, and simply a test back of this 1296, 1294 level, which is also trend line support, generally speaking. So there is that potential, and I just want you to be aware of that and not get greedy, I should say, and expect the market just to keep going higher. We have after hours Google. Obviously, the market, Google participants did not like the news. They missed, and it was the worst drop in 6 years. So as far as price action, so there's a lot of pain in Google, and I would expect. Okay, let's put it this way: trading at 580, call it. I'm gonna bring over the daily chart. What's 580? 580 is the bottom of this huge high volume area. So I would suspect that Google's a buy on weakness tomorrow morning. So it's just something to be aware of. There's probably going to be a lot of people interested in buying Google at those levels. If there isn't, then so be it. American Express, they beat earnings, trading lower after hours. That's probably a buy around 48.5 or so. I still think this name goes higher. IBM, earnings were good. It was trading up about $5 when I last checked it, but I guess it isn't anymore. This is a buy, in my opinion, at this 180 level if you can get it there. Intel, market liked the news that Intel had, and it moved higher. Microsoft, same thing, and really that's it. You look at what went on. Bank of America gapped up higher and got as high as $7.34, sold off the rest of the day. So that's just something to take note of. Morgan Stanley, it really held its own, which is pretty impressive. Look at the point of control for this week at the top end of the range. If we start dropping, we're probably going to go back and test below 18, so just be aware of that. Goldman Sachs, so all the banks are doing well, and it's just something to be aware of. Walter Energy, I guess that's really the only other action I took today was Walter Energy. Bought it, and I realize it's not at the lows here, but what I'm expecting is some type of breakout to the upside. You can see if we clear this resistance of, call it $65, there's no volume recently to keep this down, and there's been a decent amount of trading here. If I zoom out, I'll just bring in the daily chart. You can see what's going on. We have lower highs and basically flat to lower lows. I mean, it's not, but you can see it's kind of like a bullish wedge pattern. But what we're really looking for is a trade up to, let me fix this, up to $70, $75. If it can, I would be surprised if it can't test up the point of control for the year. So hopefully it can get up there. Clearing 65 is the key, and then it's up to 70, 75. That's a big level for. I mean, this stock's a fast mover, and that's a big level for it. So I hope this gives you an idea. Stick with what's working. We're in an uptrend, so a lot of things are working and continue to work. So if what you're holding isn't going up when the market is, maybe you should reevaluate, trim some. Hold it if you wish, but just realize that it's not performing with the market. So maybe that's that's giving you an idea that maybe it's a name that, you know, your money can do better elsewhere. So that's really it. There's not really much else to talk about. So I hope this helps. I hope it gives you an idea that you look at today's highs and realize the potential for a pullback. If we break above today's highs, 13.11, then we're probably going to 13.25. So just be aware of that, and I will see you tomorrow.